Okay, we'll make a start then. Thanks for joining us today. Can everybody hear me okay? Hopefully someone can just confirm. I'm just going to unmute a couple of people. Everyone here okay, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent, okay. So, yeah, everybody's muted on the session today because otherwise you get a lot of background noise. If you've got any questions throughout the course of the short presentation, you should see a section there where you can type questions, and I'll try and answer them as I go. There's also a Q&A section right at the end. So just to complete the introductions, I'm Brendon Mills. I'm the distributor and sort of partner manager here at Stock in the Channel. Most of you may already know me. I kind of look after our integrations with distributors, make sure everything's running smoothly, and also for my sins, I look after most of our advertising sales. As you're probably aware, if you're users or regular visitors to the site, you'll see quite a lot of banners and skyscrapers, and probably for the last 6 months or so you would have seen a lot more of these as well, the wallpaper which goes down both sides of the screen. So really I'm going to tell you a little bit today about how users use the site, how people search, and really how you can maximize and focus on particular product areas to advertise to. Jumping straight in, really, the reasons to advertise on Stock in the Channel. Basically, you guys probably deal with a lot of large and medium-sized businesses who you manage quite closely via a sales team, or possibly even field sales. Perhaps you even go and visit the likes of Misco and Insight, and the bigger guys you might go and run vendor desks, and that's good use of time because you go to a big room, there's 130 odd salespeople or more. They come and see you one at a time, and you get to talk to them, and you can impart your message to them directly, and that's good use of time. However, there are hundreds and thousands of small and medium-sized businesses who you can't do that with. It doesn't make sense. It's not financially feasible. So we can enable you, or we have a vehicle that you can use to get your message to all of those small and medium-sized resellers, with the added bonus that actually the larger resellers will see it as well. The likes of Insight and Misco are all 400 plus users on Stock in the Channel, and they're heavy users. They make a lot of searches, but an advert on Stock in the Channel will reach pretty much everybody, large, small, medium-sized businesses. So it's a good sort of vehicle for your marketing messages. So if you're not a regular user, perhaps you're not aware of exactly how Stock in the Channel works, but we fundamentally are a search engine. We take in product data feeds from 148 distributors at the moment. It sometimes drops down a little bit, but it tends to be generally an upward slope in terms of partners that we work with. And we put all of that information, all of the products from all of those suppliers into a search engine. So clients come on and they type in a part number, because obviously the trade reseller tends to know the part number that they're looking for. So not everybody, but mostly they type in a part number. So I've just used a laser toner cartridge SKU here. It's brought me back a product, and it's a toner cartridge. There's a picture of it, and fundamentally the most important part for the purposes of today is that this product lives in a category called laser toner cartridges. Now, by no coincidence, we're displaying an advert up here for DMC Business Machines, one of the distributors that list, and the advert is for toner. So it's contextual. It's not just the right audience in terms of it being resellers focused, but it's actually also an advert for the product that the guy is searching for. So it's very contextual. And what's happened here is the first search result that comes up, because there are, as you can see here, 30 products have been returned that match this search, but the very first product that is categorized by Stock in the Channel will trigger the advert, and it triggers the advert in this position and the advert down here. which is, again is a toner related advert. This time it's directly from Kyocera, and it's promoting all of the brands that they are distributing through directly. So they're authorized distributors, if you like. So that's kind of a different kind of advert on Stock in the Channel. Historically, most of the advertising's come directly from distribution, but Kyocera and a couple of other brands have actually started to do some direct work with us, and it's unusual to see one advert that has lots of different distributor names on. So that's quite good. That's in a nutshell the targeted option, the two positions that we have that are targeted by category, and it can be anything. So if we looked at something like flat screen, if you don't know the product number, a lot of people will type in a description. So what's happened here, the first product here is not categorized. So it drops down to the first one that is, which is a flat panel wall mount. And as a result of that, we're displaying an LG monitor banner on the side, or the skyscraper position. We probably don't have a category specific banner for flat panel wall mounts, so we are therefore displaying what's called a run of sight campaign, and that's the other way that you can target, if you like, on Stock in the Channel. We have literally hundreds of categories on Stock in the Channel, and you can find them by going to categories, view all, and in here you have our entire category tree, and you've got a show all button here, which will expose pretty much the whole category structure, which is, let's say, it's quite immense. A good way to find the category that you're interested in advertising on is probably, if you've got a product to promote, whatever it is, say you've been given a Samsung, have come to you and said we want to promote projectors. Maybe you knew the part number, I didn't, so I've just pick one of these, any one of these part numbers. You would come in here, pop it in, find the category, and in this instance it's projector lamps. Come to categories, view all, show the whole tree, and then every browser has an inbuilt search function which can be accessed via Control F, and it opens a little window up here, and into that you can just type projector, and it highlights everywhere on the page that contains the word projector, and we were looking for projector lamps. But this just tells you where in our category tree the category that you're looking to advertise actually lives, because it could be quite buried. So again, if we looked at laser toner, laser toner and cartridges. So this, in this instance, the laser toner and cartridges category lives inside printing supplies, which itself is inside printers and scanners. Okay, so that's just a quick way of how you find the appropriate category that you're looking for. And the reason you might want to do that is because in the footer of the site, as long as you're logged in, you can find out what the traffic is like on any given category. You just click the advertise link and then create new advert. And this is the self-serve model that we have. So you're able to actually purchase advertising credits and then create your own adverts and run them for whatever period you like. And you can do pretty much all of it self-serve for banners and skyscrapers if you want to. So we can select the top 40 category. And now actually laser toner cartridges is in the top 40. But if it wasn't, if the number of impressions that we receive monthly was less than 9,000, you wouldn't see it directly in this list, and you would have to navigate to the category by using this button here, show all categories, and then selecting the top 40, coming down to printers and scanners, and then selecting printing supplies, and then selecting laser toner cartridges. So you can drill down to any category in our structure, and when you get there you'll see how many impressions the category receives. This is a rolling 30-day, so you know this is literally the last 30 days traffic on the laser toner cartridges category, which is 94,660. I think that's as high as it's ever been actually. This is always the sort of barometer that I use to see how well the traffic is doing, because I've watched that grow from 50,000 to 70,000 to 80,000 and now nearly 95. It's quite astounding. So you can also see the advertisers that are currently advertising on these categories. So we've got DMC, that's the ad that we saw earlier, and we've got Kyocera, that was the one we saw in the side pane, and there's also an advert from Tech Data and one from West Coast. So where we have multiple advertisers all advertising on the same category at the same time, we actually serve the ads in rotation. There is a bit of a bidding element, if you like, to our model, whereby you assign credits to a particular advert. So if we just go back to the top 40, I'll explain a bit more about that. So if we looked here at notebooks at the moment, the current statistics are 0 and 0. There are no advertisers advertising on the notebooks category, which is a bit crazy because it's 95,000 impressions a month. So you could effectively come along here, put one credit on the notebooks category, and you would receive all of the impressions. If, however, you decided I want to advertise on the laser toner cartridges category, well, currently there are 4 advertisers, and between them they have 8 credits in play already. So to get even half of the available impressions, you would need to put 8 credits on that category, and then you would get effectively 47,000 impressions a month. So if you only put 1 credit, you're going to get 1/9 of the available impressions. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Obviously this is every day whilst there's 8 credits live. Most of the campaigns, they run in 30-day blocks. So if you started your advert today, towards the middle to end of your campaign, of your 1-month period, some of these other adverts will have already finished, and that might mean that you get a bigger share of the impression. But similarly, somebody else might come along tomorrow and place more credits on there, which will dilute a little your share. So obviously the more credits you put, the bigger the share of the impressions. But to be perfectly honest, if you're the only advertiser on a category, you're a bit crazy if you put more than 1 credit on each position. So one credit on a banner and 1 credit on a skyscraper. Okay, so so that's the category specific element. When you create an advert via the self-serve model, you get to select the duration of the campaign. So you might say, okay, I want to run for 3 months. I'm going to advertise on laser toner cartridges because it's such a big category, and I want to get a good share of those impressions, so I'm going to put 3 credits a month on my position, and I don't want it to start until October the 1st. Well, not the 1st because that's a Saturday. We're started on October the 3rd. You'd hit the next button. We do have or provide the option for you to put what we call a text advert, but in reality they look awful. So you know, I can't think of ever running a text advert because people always produce decent quality artwork. Well, certainly most of the people produce decent quality artwork. So you can select an image. At this point it tells you the dimensions for the banner or the skyscraper. And it asks you for a destination URL. This can be any landing page. You know, it can be a product detail page on your own site or product information on a range. It can be anything you like. We do insist, or we do vet where the links are going, so we always click the links and make sure that it's going to an appropriate page that relates to the advert. The title is really for your own use, and then you literally get a chance to choose a file. So navigate to your own you know, images. If we looked at tech data, advertising, and as web banners, there you go. Just select an image, random. There you go. And once it's there, that's it. So it tells you that the file is going to be used. And then you would hit the next button, at which point it would submit the advert. Having populated all of these, it won't let me submit it at the moment. Once you submit an advert via this interface, it goes into moderation. It won't go live immediately on the site. Myself and some colleagues here would receive a notification that a new advert is in moderation, and we need to go in and just check it, make sure that it's assigned to the appropriate category, make sure the link's working, the artwork's good, and generally proof it. We then release it from moderation, and the advert goes live on the site for the duration that you've selected. Occasionally I've been asked, can we run an advert for 6 weeks or 3 weeks or for a different period, because an offer's about, the offer that you're promoting ends before the end of a sort of 60-day or a fixed period. Yes, the answer is yes, we can end adverts early. However, they will require the full amount of credit still. So if you're asking for an advert to only run for 3 weeks, you would have to tell us to take the advert down, but it would still use a whole credit. Similarly, if you ran the advert for 2 months and then after 6 weeks you said, can you take it down, it's going to have used both credits. During the life of the ad campaign, you will get access to this page, which is the Manage Adverts screen. I'm currently logged in as Ingram, so we can come into any of the current adverts that are running. There are several which have only just started, and you've got an edit option here. So we have the option to increase the duration, so make the advert run for longer. We have increase your impressions, i.e. place more credits on the advert. This is a bit tricky, this one. It won't place the new credits on the advert immediately, so you'd have to, if you was coming towards the end of a 30-day period and you knew the advert was running for another 2 months, you could increase the impressions for the next 2 months. It won't increase the impressions for the current period. Or you can create a new advert, so you could create the same advert again, and that will effectively give you more impressions for that advert. You can also edit the design, so you can effectively upload a new image. If your position is a banner, i.e. the horizontal, you can only upload another horizontal banner. So you're tied to the category and the position. It's either a banner or a skyscraper, and you've selected your category. You can change pretty much anything else. So you can change the destination URL, and you can change the artwork. So if you have an offer that's only got 2 weeks left, you can still run the advert for a month, but after the 2 weeks, perhaps you change the product to a different product or a different promotion. That way you're getting the full money's worth for what you've purchased. Okay, so that's the category specific and the sort of ability to change the adverts during the campaign. If we just go out of this for a second and go back to create new advert, excuse me. So in addition to the select top 40 categories, we also offer something called run of site. Run of site's particularly good if you have something that's not product specific and you're looking to promote it. So this could be an event. So very recently we had the Midwich Technology Exposed event that actually happened last month, and we had for the 6 weeks previous to that, we had quite a lot of banners and skyscrapers on the site promoting their own event, their trade event. So that was a good use of a run of site campaign. Run of site does pretty well because we've got a lot of empty categories. Remember, we have hundreds of categories, and the top 40 are the busiest ones, obviously. They're the ones that give you the best return the most number of impressions. So the categories outside of that are all normally included in run of sight. You can advertise on a specific category further down the list if you wish, but quite often people go for run of sight because it gives them a huge number of impressions. It's actually the lowest cost per thousand option. So yeah, that's the run of sight option. So with regards to the wallpaper, which as well, I've been flicking around the site looking at different pages, I'm sure you've noticed that this has been the one static element that's there on every page. We sell the wallpaper on a daily basis, so we have limited inventory available. Literally, we only sell the days of the week. There's no point in buying the weekend adverts because the traffic on stock in the channel is almost non-existent at the weekend. The wallpaper will achieve between 55,000 on a really bad day, through the summer months and perhaps towards the end of December, and 65 to 70,000 impressions a day in the busier periods. So it's a real high impact. It gets seen an awful lot. Because it's on every single page, whether we go into product details, it's there. I think there's a couple of places where you don't see the wallpaper, and that tends to be if you're making a payment, I think, to us. So if you're checking out, paying us online, I don't think those pages have the adverts on, but the vast majority of pages that we display will contain the wallpaper. So we run a calendar for this because it's very popular. The last 2 months are pretty much sold out, and you need to sort of book that in advance with me. You can give me a call and we can discuss availability of dates. We do have some availability right now for October, and we already have bookings going right the way up to December. So we have got availability in October, November and December. This is by far the highest impact that we offer. So most impressions, the best click rate, and it's very popular with a lot of regular advertisers like Midwich and Exertis and Ingram, frequent visitors to that position. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is managed campaigns. So quite often, well, more often in the last 9 months, I guess you could say, I've had distributors coming to me saying, right, I'm talking with Kyocera or I'm talking with Samsung. Most of the vendors are aware of stock in the channel. Most of them actually have accounts on stock in the channel, often with multiple, hundreds sometimes of users, and they know who we are. They're prepared to invest in advertising on stock in the channel because they know the reach that it has. So most of you guys probably have access to MDF fund from the from the vendors that you represent. So I was getting asked, okay, look, I've got Samsung wanting to promote their new smartphone. I've got a sizable budget, sometimes as much as £7,000 over a 3-month period to promote the product on stock in the channel. It doesn't have to be a huge budget, but I am looking at around about the 2 to 3K minimum to be able to actually go away and produce what I call a campaign plan. I'll show you a couple of campaign plans that I've produced recently. So this was the Kyocera campaign. Duration was 3 months. We was looking at putting 4 credits on banners per month, a wallpaper allocation of 12, 3 days, effectively 1 day per month, and that was costing Kyocera £3,000. So 3 days of wallpaper and 4 credits on banners for a 3-month period. What I'm able to do is to delve in and say, okay, well, the laser toner cartridges category currently has 2 banners and 2 skyscrapers running. I recommend you just do 2 credits on banners. At the time, that would have given them 50% of the traffic. and I suggest that you top up with run of sight banners, and that will give you another 162,000 impressions a month. This equals a total of 205,000 times by 3 months, and add the 1 day, well, I should say 3 days of wallpaper at 165,000 impressions. That gives you 782,000 impressions in the next 90 days for your campaign, and an average cost per thousand of £3.83. So this was an offer directly to Kyocera, who had inquired. But what you can clearly see from this kind of offer is that I'm able to go away and actually illustrate what you can expect to get for your money. And quite often the distributors, if you came to me with these, and here's one I've done for distributors. This is a Exertis campaign for NEC displays, £2,000, 1 month. And again, you know, we've selected quite a few categories. Quite often these are related categories as well. So we can look at, for example, if you're selling laptop bags, you don't advertise them on the, well, you don't just advertise them on the laptop bag category, you advertise them on the laptops category or the notebooks category, because it's an associated product. So quite often I'm able to go away and think about that a bit, study the categories that I feel would be interesting, where you're likely to get decent number of impressions, and where they're relevant. We normally include a bit of top up for run of sight, but again, on this campaign there was an element of wallpaper, so there was 2 days of wallpaper, and then a month-long banner across all of these categories, and that was achieving just shy of 300,000 impressions for £2,000 over a month. So quite often the distributors that I'm producing these for are actually able to take these campaign plans. It's got stock in the channel letterhead on effectively. You can even show these to the vendors that you're working with. Sometimes they're happy to say, okay, that's transparent, here's the money. Obviously this is promoting the products to be purchased from you guys as distributors. Okay, so that's the campaign plans. Whenever I'm doing campaign plans, I've got a lot more flexibility in what I'm able to offer. If you're self-serving and you're spending, you know, credits here and there, to be honest, it's the page rates that you see on the site. So, oops, let's find purchase credits. So here's our rate card, if you like, for purchasing credits. So if you was to purchase 4 credits, it's £1,000. That would allow you to run 4, you know, either 1 banner for 4 months, or 4 banners in 1 month, or 1 day of wallpaper. The 10 credits, 2250, and the cheapest option, if you're just buying credits and self-serving, is 20 credits for £4,000. When I do the campaign plans, because they're not self-serve, you send me the artwork, you send me the link, I do all of the placement of the ads for you, and because I know that, okay, we're getting 20 credits for £2,500, for example, but I know that those 20 credits are gone in a month and a half, or in 6 weeks, or sorry, it is a month and a half, or in 2 months, a month, however long the campaign lasts. At the end of that period, those credits are gone. So I can expect another order at some point, and therefore I'm prepared to give you, as regular advertisers, a better deal. And you know, that's the way a lot of the larger campaigns are going now. So that, to be honest with you, is what I wanted to show you today. Hopefully it's been interesting. I will very quickly say on the wallpaper bookings, we are very busy. Currently we've got 2, 4, 6, probably about half of October is booked and gone, and you know, several days in November and December are also starting to go. The last couple of months have sold out, so you know, it's a good idea, if you're interested in running some wallpaper with us, and why wouldn't you be, to actually get in touch fairly soon to reserve the date that you want. There's, you know, obviously a lot of activity in the lead up to Christmas, And there's also some big dates before that. You know, we've got Halloween coming up, which is great for theming adverts. We've got Bonfire Night, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. All of these dates are quite sought after, so it's a good idea to get in touch as soon as you think you need a date booking, so that we can get it penciled in and then reserve that date for you. You've all been very quiet. I've not seen any questions, so either you guys already knew everything or I've explained it very well. Hopefully it's the latter. But if you do have any questions, now's a great time. We're coming up to the end of the presentation, so please ask away if you have any questions or type away. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, thank you very much for your time today. Hopefully it's been interesting for you. Please do get in touch. I'm sure you've all got my number. We'll send out an attachment, if you like, or a follow-up email. There will also be the ability to download and watch this webinar or watch it online via our YouTube channel, or pass that on to any colleagues that you have, or indeed any vendors that you work with. They're very welcome to see it as well. So yeah, if you've got any questions or you think of something after the event, then by all means get in touch. If not, then I certainly hope to hear from you soon with some advertising inquiries. Thank you very much.